This is the Transformers Generations Power of the Primes Deluxe Class Autobot Jazz. The figure is part of the first wave of these Deluxe Class figures. Finally, we get a Combiner Jazz. We'll put him on this side first. Power of the Primes. Essentially, he is a Combiner Wars figure. And looking good in Deluxe Class. That is, comes with this nice collector card. And his power of the prime is Quintus Jazz. Evolves life in unexpected ways. Sounds like a commercial. Okay. And he comes with this nice little instruction booklet. Very, very clear. I love what they've done here. White and gray background. That's how it should be, not gray on gray. Very good, Hasbro. He comes with his Power of the Primes Deluxe Prime Armor. They're all Prime Armors. Voyager, Prime Leader, Prime. So yeah, there you go. There you go. Have a good look at him. He's a Deluxe Class figure, but he's got a small head. Lots of very familiar parts from the Combiner Wars line. It's not a Titan's Return figure, unfortunately, but he is a Power of the Prime figure. So there are tabs on the armor that, on the thumbs, the armor doubles as a fist or a hand that has two opposable thumbs, whatever. And you can combine him with Combiner Wars figures, I suppose, or Power of the Prime figures. So in armor mode, you tab these right here, which I thought is just useless. Not real armor, it's like more of a kibble. And there's a like an accessory piece, a clear accessory piece right here, just to fill in the gap for any Prime Master that you have that you might want to interface with Jazz. And the thing with these Power of the Primes gimmick is it leaves a lot to the imagination, much like the Titan's Return. And Combiner Wars was great because you could imagine having different combinations with the figures, but the Titan's Return, each Titan Master had a power, and so is the Prime. Okay, I'm not buying it, but very, very good. I love this sculpt. Unfortunately, I don't think it can become a foot. Can become a hand. I suppose if you want it as a foot, could do it this way. Like maybe something like that. That could be a foot. I don't know. But that's what it is. Okay, not much to it. Okay. You can. Oh, here he is. Basic. The legs look okay. The body has a lot of gaps in it. It looks very thin. There's a lot of car kibble at the back. And this is probably the most annoying thing, the door kibble on his fists. And there's really no way to do it. The hands do have some swivel articulation, but that's just it. Very simplistic articulation, much like a KO or a Legends class figure. Ball jointed elbows, swivel shoulders that go in and out as well. Ball jointed hips, thigh swivel, hinge knees, and a little bit of foot articulation because of transformation. All right. Actually, I have not transformed him prior to this review. I thought I practiced transforming him last night. Must have fallen asleep. And here is Power of the Primes Jazz in his arm mode or limb mode. You can do him left or right. It's really a matter of preference. Instructions say he's a left arm, so there, and he's got that hidden thumb right there. It's not much to look at. There's this big kibble which formed like a shoulder pad, shoulder armor or something like that, but it is what it is. Very simplistic, not really something you probably want to do with this figure. Probably keep him in alt mode or in robot mode. Alright, so we'll transform him together. Okay, here's the gun. Unfortunately, he does not have a side-mounted hole or anything like that. That's cool. And biggest question for all of you, especially for me, I think, can he replace Generations Jazz? Or Reveal the Shield Jazz, or whatever we're going to call it? And the answer simply is no. If you're not too particular about it, sure. If you don't really need to track down this figure and you just want a Jazz on your shelf, sure, if you're not going to be too strict about it. But if you want the quintessential or the essential or most prominent or definitive deluxe class Jazz that closely resembles G1, you go third party, or if you want official, this is still the best deluxe class Jazz for me, because essentially he's just a Combiner Wars figure that they released late, and well, he's got lots of details, lots of things going for him, but to me this is still Jazz. He's got the wings, he's got the sound blasters, he's got a great head sculpt. Everything about this figure I love, so he's not going anywhere soon. This one, however, I do like it. Not to take anything away from this figure, it might not replace my Jazz on the shelf, but I do love the figure, the way it looks aesthetically. I love the white on it, and in car mode he should look great. So let's get him into car mode. So first thing you want to do, as the instructions say, is to do this, fold this. That's already the legs. You want to open this up, much like a Combiner Wars figure. You gotta fold it in like that, and fold it back in like that. Open that one up just to give you some clearance. Open this one, fold it, close it back, which is really very difficult because there's a lot of clearance issues going on with this particular figure, and it's, look at that, it's not closing properly. Okay, and that's the rear end of the car. It reminds me of something, I'm going to talk about it later. I know what you're thinking. Go ahead and untab that chest, fold the head down all the way, and this number 4, you gotta fold it up and about. Very complicated, complex way of transforming a very simple piece. Go ahead and fold it this way and attach. Okay, all's left are the arms. Struggling with it though. Okay. All right. Okay. Did I get it right? There is Jazz in car mode, and prime armor connects here. More like this, I suppose, since it's like an intake or a thrusters. That, and then the gun, you can mount it on either side, here or here, maybe here. That's what the instructions say. There's a tab right there. Just tabs it in right there. Okay, and it kind of snaps in. Okay, that's it, I suppose. Okay, that. It just comes off very, very easily. Come on, man. Okay. Don't know why. Okay. Not perfect, I suppose. Okay, so there he is. There is Jazz in his alt mode. And what I mentioned earlier, it looks like the GoBot Crusher in white, like the toy GoBot, because in the GoBot show, she was black and pink, and the toy, she was white, and it kind of reminds me of that toy. Not a lot like how Jazz looked like. Jazz looked more like a Porsche or something like that, but it's okay. It'll suffice. So what are my thoughts? Sure, if you just want a Jazz on your shelf, it's really an interesting figure. It's well done. It's good. It's as good as it gets, but to me, it's not a definitive Jazz. You could do well without it if you already have the Reveal the Shield Jazz. But it is a nice addition, especially if you addition to your collection of Jazz figures, especially if you are a big Jazz fan. Yeah, I like it. So, can't wait to combine with somebody else. We'll see how it goes. Oh, one quick look at the tempos. Very nice. A lot of G1 tempos about it. Very, very nice. Wish they painted some of those, but no stickers. Tempos. Starscream and had a lot of stickers, but this one a lot of tempos. So, lots of gaps here and there, but it's a decent Jazz. Hope you enjoyed this little review. It's going to get 9 out of 10 for me. Transformers, Power of the Primes, Deluxe Class, Jazz. Thanks for watching.